So what is going on, everyone? We're just going out on an early morning ride, and I thought I'd take the opportunity to discuss a few points about cold weather riding. Now we're in that early October period now. The weather's getting colder, as you can see. You know, the roads are looking wet and slippy. A lot of leaves on the road. So what can we do as bikers to ensure we remain as safe as possible and have a good success in these sort of conditions, and don't put ourselves in any sort of difficult situations and risk injuring ourselves, because we're very vulnerable at this time of year, you know, being exposed to all the elements around us. You know, nature's out to get us a little bit with the road surface. So what can we do to mitigate these sort of things? Well, my first tip would be to just take your time. You know, don't be in any rush to get anywhere. You know, we've really got to start easing back on that speed now. You know, summer is sadly over, and you know, we're not going to get many dry conditions. So we can't really start flying about everywhere. We just got to keep to the speed, keep to the traffic speed. You know, sit behind the cars like I'm doing here now, keeping a good distance. And the benefit this has is it's making me smoother with my riding. Allow yourself more time. If you've got to be at work, you know, for a certain time, allow yourself more time in the morning to prepare, so you don't have to race around really quick on the roads just to get to work on time. It's all about taking your time, you know, being smooth with your braking, and that can only happen if we're taking our time on the bike, you know, because with more power becomes more increased pressure on the brakes you need to stop yourself. And obviously in the wet and cold conditions, if you're applying large amounts of pressure onto your brakes, you're putting a lot of resistance onto your tyres, and with the lack of grip on the roads at this time of year, it's not good, and you're going to end up probably slipping and ending up on your ass, and we don't want to be in that situation. So that's one of my most important tips, is when riding in the cold and wet conditions, is just to take your time and not be in any rush. You know, slow your speed down so you don't have to apply as much pressure onto the brakes to stop yourself, and it's going to make you a much smoother rider. Have a look at your tyres. You know, if you've got stock tyres on, usually stock tyres are quite a hard tyre, and they last a lot longer, but they are not the most beneficial in the wet and cold conditions. You want a little bit of a softer tyre, because with a softer tyre you'll have more surface area on the road and you'll have better grip. Also, your tyre will heat up a lot quicker, so that enables you to have better grip. With a harder tyre, it takes longer for the tyre to heat up, and you'll have less grip for a longer period of time until that tyre heats up a little bit, then you'll have some grip. You know, rubber softens a little bit due to the heat. So have a think about changing your tyres, and if you're not going to replace your tyres for a softer one, then just really watch your speed. Go really slow, you know, be smooth on the brakes, apply little bits of pressure. Because you're already at a disadvantage with the harder tyre on if you've got hard tyres on. Make sure you're using the rear brake. You know, you're not just grabbing handfuls of front brake on its own, because you'll put a lot of pressure on the front tyre and And in these wet and slippery conditions, you'll end up on your ass, and that's where you don't want to be. So just to show you're being even with your braking, you're being gradual and smooth with your braking, and you know that will ensure you have a good success. In these wet and slippery conditions. The other point would be clothing. Ensure you've got the correct clothing on, you know, in these cold conditions, but and stay warm as well as safe. You know, you don't want to be freezing your tits off, so get yourself a biker jacket, you know, with the back padding, the shoulder pads, the elbow pads and the forearm pads, chest pads if needed. You know, that's what I wear. I'm always riding in layers of clothing, and I got 2 biker jackets with all the correct padding in. You know, I got motorcycle jeans. You know, they're a bit tougher than normal jeans, and they've also got the knee pads, the shin pads and the thigh pads, so protecting your upper and lower body is crucial. And I also wear some motorcycle shoes, which obviously help with your feet. It's a lot easier to change gears, your feet don't get as cold, and you're protecting your ankles and things like that, so it's safe and it's also more comfortable. You know, and that's important in these conditions, is to remain safe as possible and also as comfortable as possible. Yeah guys, so they're just some of my tips on cold wet weather riding. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you've gained a few tips that you can use. Thanks for watching. Comment down below what things you find beneficial in the cold and wet weather. And I will see you on the next video, guys. Peace out.